Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. That little bit of rain we got just brought these beautiful flowers out even more. They were so small the last time I showed them to you, but now they've got some size to them and just looking great. I just got some flowers for seed. Look at this pretty pink. This is how it looks before it turns. Before it starts fading anyway. You can tell the color, and this is not real sharp. And look at this pale yellow. So pretty. And this red. So red. So I'm going to save these little ones in a envelope for next year, hopefully. Today is July the 17th, and we got rain. I'm so happy. And look, this little yellow double hibiscus bloom too. I'm so glad I got to purchase this and have it in my garden. And I know my lens was fogging up, so I did wipe it down, but it'll probably fog up again till it gets warmer, till the lens gets warmer. Now that our little rain, which is only 1/10 of an inch, but I'm very grateful for it. But I thought I would try this again now that the lens has stopped clouding up, because it's more, what would it be, warmer than the cool air outside was, which it's certainly not cool now. But I wanted to get some of these beautiful pictures for you while they're still bright and beautiful from the rain. And I just now, when I was in the back, just before I came around here to the front, I found a pretty pale yellow zinnia, and I clipped it off to save for seed, and somehow it fell out of my hand, and I've looked and looked for it and I can't find it. So maybe it'll make me another bloom that I can save. And while I was looking at this, you know, those little blooms on the oleander that were just, they were just buds, but now look, they're opened up and looking so good. This little plant did die. Half of it died out when I had it in the house, but the other half is still there, and maybe it'll even fill back out before I have to take it in again for the winter. But I'm dreading those old hot days, because I dreaded it when it was in the 90s, and now that it's going to be in the 90s and 100s, you know, unless we do just keep on getting some wonderful rains along the way. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but I'm sure things will work out one way or the other. And that's easier to say when there's at least a little bit of a cool wind blowing than it is when you're out here in that heat day after day after day. This strawberry drop coleus in these little small stackable pots are just doing great. So far they're being as pretty as I imagine them to be. I don't know what they'll do as they get bigger and longer, still trail over even more. They may be even more beautiful, or they may look a little clumped up. So if they do, I can always trim them back. But I'm not going to be in any hurry to trim them back, because right now I like it this way. Are you able to enjoy the summers? Because to me, as soon as I get it all filled out, or almost filled out, Actually, you know, when you get the seeds and everything in and you're like, I'm done with planting, and even though you know you might plant one or two more if you find one, but you really are pretty much finished planting. And then it seems like right then, before you can enjoy any of it, the heat comes on, and it's just like you're already tired from all the planting, and then that heat just seems to suffocate you while you're in the garden, and I don't like that, and I don't know how to deal with that. Do you have any hints or any ideas to help? Look at these lovely shades of pink, and as I showed you, I did go out and get some of the seeds and save them, or some of the flowers, and pulled off the seeds to save them. And one that I saved was this beautiful deep red. And there's another one right there. But I did save several different colors, and I'm seeing a yellow, a very pale yellow right here. And this looks like it might be like the one that I lost in the backyard, so I might just take it for seed also. And perhaps it will make me some more flowers. I can get some more seed, and perhaps if I don't find that other one, it will put down some seed and come up in the back for me next spring. My little Alberta my little Alberta dwarf tree, cypress tree, is coming up still. It's not going away. That's great. I hope it will actually make it and put its root down deep and it won't be extremely tall, but still be its height that it's supposed to be, which I'm thinking it's like 6 to 10 foot. So, but it will be a nice little size for this area right here. And I was like 3 posts ahead in my posts, and now I'm not any ahead. I have one for day after tomorrow, and then I'm going to be needing another post again. So I've got to get busy and get some of these pictures and get them put into a post so that you can have one for the following Sunday. Several of the last little seeds that I planted did not come up, so I don't know if I want to try again or just let it go, or maybe just put some little pieces, little starts from some of the sedum, or maybe some of the purslane moss in here. That may be what I end up doing. But you know, everything you do, you're doing it through sweat in your eyes, so you can't really see all that well, even if you have, like me, a shop rag in hand. But I just don't know how to enjoy it anymore. You know, the Bible says something about enjoy your life, well, and do the Lord, remember the Lord in the days of your youth, before those days come when you say, I have no pleasure in them. So, you know, sometimes we just lose the pleasure of life because of aches and pains and inabilities and all those things. But, you know, we've got to keep going and do the best we can, because, you know, it also says that though the outward man perish, the inward man is renewed day by day. I love to see the little profusion zinnias coming up. They really put some color and give us a bright spot to look at. So I'm out here watering, and guess what I see? Do you see it too? We have a little resident frog in the area. So I think that little frog must have hopped away or jumped away. But you know, frogs eat snails and slugs, so I think I like that little frog. The grass seed that I planted under our redbud tree is still doing pretty good. It's doing really good except for the spots where it didn't take the first time, but it's still doing really good compared to where I'm trying to start it over on the east side. And here is that little area I was talking about. What came up the first time is really scraggly, but it is up and doing okay. But so far, my other seed that I planted, it's just not coming up at all. But it takes it a while, so maybe it still will. I'm certainly going to hope it will. You know, you spend a lot of time doing all that, and then when you get it in, you have to keep it wet or keep it moist until it does go ahead and sprout. But I'm hoping it will, and that we'll have this one little problem taken care of, although you can see where it just kind of makes this little gully right down beside it, but that's because I liquid edged there, so that what we have mostly is Bermuda grass. That's not what this new grass is, but what we have mostly is the Bermuda grass, and if you know anything about Bermuda grass, you know it will grow right on into the flowers if you don't stop it some way. And I've tried to get candy tuft just all along my border, but I think why it hasn't done well at all is because I do liquid edge right up beside it, and that kills some of it out on the other side too. I would love to have it all there at one point, but hopefully my husband has started putting some brick down for me, and that definitely keeps the other side of it from dying out. And then this side I still go ahead and liquid edge. It just lasts longer, and I don't have to worry about it continuously, although I do have to do it several times during the summer months. And I know this little candy tuft doesn't look so great right now because, you know, the heat's just bearing down on it. But in the spring, it's so beautiful when it's just covered with little white flowers. And if I could get it all the way up this, and actually just all around the border of the garden, I would love that. And the candy tuft blooms in the spring, and there's not a lot of other stuff blooming, but it would just put a border around a world of promise that's going to bloom sometime later on in the summer. Yesterday I put a few of the purple heart plants in here. One day I'm going to get something going in here that will bloom and be beautiful, hopefully. So I once told you that I wanted to finish filling this up with succulents, various succulents, and make it a pretty little container. But you know, all the ones that I had in here practically have died out. And so I am going to go ahead and try that today, though, I think. Right now, I'm just going to gather up a few succulents. I'm just going to clip a little piece off of this. Isn't it pretty? I hope it keeps going and going. But right now, I'm going to take a little piece of it. So I clipped off a little piece, and I think this one will grow back. It may not grow back this year, but I think it will go ahead and grow back. Certainly hope it does. I believe it will. And I'm going to snip off a few of these little pieces simply because they're hiding her face anyway. So I've taken 3 little pieces out of that container that I just showed you this one right here. And now you can see the little angel that's in there. And I think I'm going to leave this one maybe. And this sedum grows a little taller, so I think I will clip off a little bit of it. So I took 3 pieces off of that little succulent in that pot, and it also still looks good. And I like this little succulent that's just green and white. I'm going to take a few pieces of it. And I took 5 little pieces off of this. I have heard when you make a grouping, you should put it in 3s or 5s or go on up, to 7s, to the uneven numbers, because they look more cohesive, or they make your container look more cohesive with those numbers in them, or your garden with larger plants with those number of plants in your garden. And I'm going to go for some of these pretty purple and turquoise looking plants, and while I'm at it, I think I may put 1 or 2 over here on this side where it's bare. So now this little pot looks maybe even better. And I got 5 of those little purple and turquoise looking sedum. I think this is called Plum Dazzled. And I'm choosing some of this Angelonia because not only is it a beautiful bright yellow green, it also turns shades of pink, yellow, and orange in the fall. And this little plant too is a favorite for me. I just put it where nothing else will grow, in my little tiny window boxes and in pots where I don't get to water every single day, where at least where I'm trying to cut back on having to water every single day. And they can handle it. They're just a beautiful, tough little plant. So I'll start out with 3 of those, and if I decide I need some more, I can just clip off a few more and try putting those in with it. And this little plant is also one that turns the beautiful fall shades of yellow, orange, and pink in the fall. So I got just a little handful of it too. Now I'm going to take this little pot and put some fresh soil in it. Of course, nothing could be easy, so I've got holes in here without the little things that stop it up. And these, it's a great idea, but I don't want to mess with all that right now. But when it worked, you could poke a plant in here and let it flow out the sides of it, and it is beautiful if you have time to do all that. But right now, I'm just trying to get these covered up so that I can fill this up with dirt and put my little plants in, because I don't want them to dry all out before I get them a chance to get started in here. So what I'm going to do is just put some of these are easily cut, so I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these and put them in just to cover it up so that the soil won't fall out of it, so I can finish my little pot. I think it's going to get dark before I get it put together, but I'm going to go ahead and put the little plants in here, and if I can't get you a picture of it this evening, I will get you one in the morning. So I will take these little cuttings and I'll put their stem in this rooting powder, and most usually you don't even have to do that. I usually do. I usually try to keep some rooting powder on hand, and I feel like it maybe gives them a little better chance, so I will try that. And I'm going to start with this pretty little blue one by putting it right in the center of this pot. So it got dark enough that you can see my butterflies when they're all lit up. And if you can still see this little pot, this is what it looks like so far. Tomorrow I'll try to get another picture for you, and I'm thinking that I would like to put some purslane moss in here too, because it's not actually in the sedum family, but it's one of the more Xerox plants where it doesn't have to be watered every single day, and it looks beautiful every morning when it opens up and blooms. So I'm hoping to put some of those in here, but even if I don't, it looks good right now, especially so much better than it did before. So I came out this morning to show you. It looks so pretty. But I still want to put some purslane moss in there, but not right now. I've got to water my little seeds. Look at this little diamond frost euphorbia now. You don't have to wonder now, are those really blooms or are they just part of the stem? Because you can tell they are beautiful little blooms. And I just about let this pretty little Yalicophobia bloom get totally spent before I got a picture of it for you, but you can still get the idea that that's a beautiful little surprise when it blooms in the garden. And these are the little purslane moss blooms that I want to put some of in that little succulent, or not succulent, but sedum arrangement. Okay, now it has some pretty bloom in here. These will of course fade, and they don't stay open in the heat of the day. When it gets real hot, they'll just close up. And I think it had lots of pretty color with all the different shades of green, but this will just add to the color. Right now they're kind of limp looking, but I think as soon as they build a root, they'll stand to attention and add a little more beauty to this little pot. I may get some, I don't know if you'd call it energy or some wherewithal anyway, to do these little sides too, and put some little sedum or purslane moss in them too, where they'll hang over. But right now I need some breakfast, so I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out, and I hope you like it. And it was free. I just took little snippets and I put them in rooting powder and put them in the pot, and I'm hoping and believing too that because this sedum is so easily re-rooted in another pot, so I think it looks great. I'm so proud of this little container of petunias. That's one little petunia that I got in spring, and it's still going, and a lot of my petunias have given up. I don't know how in this little pot this one is making it so well, but I'm so glad it is. And I've been wanting to show you how pretty the petunias look with this blackie, this fork-leafed blackie sweet potato vine. But so far they haven't grown in together and looked really pretty. So I guess I can't show you until they do, but I'll keep trying, because they do when they grow in together, and you've got the round and the little bits of green with the biggest part of it being that blackie. It does look really good. And I'm always excited when the bougainvillea blooms. I always love the redhead coleus too. This one's looking great. Even the red coleus that's not actually redhead, but a little bit different red, they're still very pretty. And this is where one of my little double petunias died, and it was so pretty. I don't know if you remember looking at it right here on this side of it, but it's gone now. It got wilty and then it just wilted and shriveled up, and I took it out yesterday. And actually I clipped a little piece of this pretty pink and purple heart, and I put it over there where close to where the other one was, so that it could fill up this little pot and still look pretty for the rest of the season. And the little floss flower that I had in this, or agerantum, in this pot is looking very wilty too. It's not looking good. It's actually looking better than it did last night though, so maybe it'll come out of it. I hope it will. And I just watered for the evening, and it just makes me feel so glad to finally be getting this little pot done. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.